So obviously the Dallas Cowboys, they played Kansas City this week, and one of the biggest matchups that people are looking at is obviously Hill, and how will the Dallas Cowboys match up against Hill. I'm hearing a lot of fear, and understandably why, especially when you look at obviously the clock speed of Hill. But it's something that I don't think a lot of people are taking into account. And the new thing that people are not taking into account is a new science that has been proven to be true, and it's the science of game speed. Because what's actually going on is the NFL has totally changed with its technology, like everything, the GPS and the satellites and everything that we currently have obviously modernized has changed even the measurements of how we measure speed. Because game speed used to be something that was real but still considered a theory. Because you could see it. Like for instance, Everson Walls, he clocked a 4-second official handheld time. But his rookie year, he also accomplished 11 interceptions. So everybody that's excited about Diggs, and you got to understand that we've actually seen this type of phenomenon before with Everson Walls, and actually greater because he did it as a rookie. So when you look at Everson Walls, you would say, how can somebody with 4.7 speed hold up in the NFL consistently and end up with the massive amount of interceptions he had over his career? It's called game speed. So really, I changed the term to game speed. I call these guys truly, really adrenaline athletes, because with adrenaline, you can perform above the natural expectations of your body. It's a fight or flight syndrome is what some people call it, where you could see like, and they've witnessed this. This is on much recorded events where people have witnessed women protecting their babies have superhuman strength, like lifting cars and stuff like that. That's because of adrenaline. It's a survival instinct, and some people have a gift of adrenaline, which translates to game speed. What are you talking about, boss? Why are you bringing all this up? Because I'm telling you that honestly, the fear that people are having on Hill and his game speed is a mirage, especially when you take an account of Diggs. Because most people don't know this, and I want y'all to listen real close to what 105.3 The Fan revealed. Listen to this.
Now, the number one player in the league, overall, the fastest player in the league, is a member of the Dallas Cowboys. It is Diggs. He covers 10.63 yards per second.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Darius Slay is number 6. He is 10.37. DK Metcalf is 2 at 10.48. Now, that doesn't mean that Diggs is the fastest 40 time.
Right.
But, there's a difference between being fast and playing fast.
Yeah.
And he,
Tyreek Hill, by the eye test, looks like the fastest player in football.
Right. Yes. I would think so. Now, how much of that is this fact that he's very small, so he's going to look faster? Now, our eyes probably can't tell the difference between 10.4 and 10.3, but he's small, and that's going to help.
I guarantee that most people do not know that the fastest person clocked in the NFL this year has been Diggs, our own cornerback. Yes, faster than Hill. But that's information that you wouldn't know unless they had the GPS microchips in the shoulder pads where you're able to clock that type of data. So now the adrenaline athletes like Diggs, who clocked a 4.52, is actually running faster than any person with football pads this year, including Hill. So what does that mean? Well, that actually means that actually, according to science, we can match up on Hill, and we can take the chance. We can literally take the chance of going out the Hill on occasionally in one-on-one situations, because you actually have a guy, according to science, that can actually keep up step for step. Because when the game is on the line and his adrenaline kicks in, it's truly accurate and safe to say that he has the athletic ability to keep up with a Hill. Because, because the chess match that the Dallas Cowboys are getting ready to face, okay? The chess match that they're getting ready to face is they're getting ready to try to figure out how to match up against Kansas City. And most of us are under the impression that a bend don't break is the way to go, especially because we see that Kansas City has adjusted to the adjustments. What does that mean? Well, a lot of defensive coordinators figured out how to really limit Kansas City. And what they figured out is if you run two safeties on the back end, it makes it harder for Mahomes to throw. And it's counter to his instincts, which is to be a down the field vertical guy. So they basically forced him to run the ball or dink and dunk. And he was struggling because at first he was refusing to do that. He wanted to still be super Mahomes. But now, versus the Raiders, he's adjusted to the adjustment on him. And you can see from how they targeted Williams out the backfield and the amount of times that they had short passes that they are accepting that the way to move the ball methodically downfield is dink and dunk. So they have adjusted to the adjustment. So it's not going to be as easy a game as what Dallas may think, because now we have to adjust to their adjustment, and we're going to have to take some chances, in my opinion. I don't think you're going to be able to just zone up, play cover two, keep everything in front, and think a smart guy like Andy Reid is going to just fall for that. Like the offensive coordinator, Bieniemy and Andy Reid, they're too smart. So it's time to counter the counter. So it's way more chess now that's involved, but you do have a chess piece according to science that you could use. So what am I saying maybe we should do with Diggs? Yeah, I think you should match him up with Hill occasionally one-on-one, especially if you want to try to take the chance of getting after Mahomes. You have to take the chance. It's the only thing I can tell you, because if you don't, they showed against the Raiders last week a hard game. That's a divisional game, which should have been a dogfight. They walked all over them because they have now adjusted to the adjustment. And I'm seeing clear views on that. They have adjusted to the adjustment. So this is a game that's basically made for a shootout, but it's also more so made to be a chess game. So in this chess game, use your chess piece and don't be afraid. So in this game, you have your chess piece. The science says that it's with you and that it can work because the science has caught up. Now, you're not going to hear a lot of people talking about this because this is new. It's almost like archaeology. Archaeology is a new science, and archaeology has revealed so much because it's a science that's not even 100 years old. But so is tracking players' game speed. This is something that's new, but this is something that the more and more people talk about it, the more and more you're going to be able to trust it. So the next time you come across a 4.52 guy like Diggs or Everson Walls 4.7, but then the game speed through the microchips is showing that they're actually running 4.4s on the field, you can believe it. And when you know you can believe it, you could also use it as a chess piece to match up. So we're not as limited as we think we are, especially when we accept the science of game speed and the fact that we have guys that actually matches up. So y'all stay with Boss Cowboys Sports, because we're going to continue to bring you content like this about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm pretty sure you've never heard this, or if you've heard this, you probably didn't focus on it, but I want to make sure we focused on this because this is something that's epically important, especially if we want to try to get after the Mahomes. Because yes, we can do the dink and dunk, and yes, we can do the bend don't break defense, but occasionally I think you're going to have to make it hard on Mahomes, and you have to send pressure out of him and try to make him become super Mahomes, where you cater to his worst tendencies. His worst tendencies is to force it and try to make things happen. But if you let him be safe and dink and dunk, they have adjusted, and they will do that all the way downfield. So stay with Boss Cowboy Sports, because this is where you're going to get this type of content where we're talking about the real details of the science of game speed. And the science says, I want to repeat this, the science says that we have the guys that can actually match up speed-wise. It's do we trust it, and do you trust it? because it's way more than enough footage to see it. You can even look at how Diggs played against DJ Moore, who clocked a faster time electronically, but you can see when he was tested step for step, he was able to keep up. It's because of the science of game speed. So y'all keep up with this and y'all keep your eyes on this. And I'm going to be curious to see, do we trust the science in this game? Will we go into this game and say, we trust that our guy can actually match up step for step because the science says he can? Or will we go with the traditional thinking of trusting old school caveman clocks when we all know game speed is real and we all know that it's effective and we know people been doing it for a long time? So trust the adrenaline athletes. When they show you that they're an adrenaline athlete, trust it. That's the challenge I'm saying to McCarthy and the defensive coordinators. Trust it. Your guy has fantastic, crazy game speed, literally clocked the fastest guy in the NFL. Think about all the electronic guys that ran the 4.2s and the 4.3s. Nobody ran fast on the field in Diggs. Nobody. This is now officially clocked. Trust it and do something about it. Boss Cowboy Sports out.